Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 3rd of September. So looking at the euro dollar first, and well, continuation to the downside, and no surprises there really. The only question you may have for me is, so where exactly is this going? And I'm looking down to the 109, 108 area. 109 initially, of course, which is not far away from where we are. There may be the support is actually just below, historical support is just below that 108 area, but we'll see how we run. But for now, that's where sort of looking at the euro run continuing to. A little in the way of support coming through here. I was just checking. There's nothing in this price action to suggest divergence or anything like this on this 4-hourly. Assume the same in terms of not really. It's changed a little bit. Maybe there's a bit of divergence sitting across the hourly time frame here on the euro, but consolidation around the lows here. It's got a chance of pitching up. It's got the daily pivot above, maybe a draw to that. In terms of what to do with this, I certainly don't really want to be selling where it is basing at the moment. Even if it was to break the lows here and run over, it's already through to its S2 for the day. It's moved down quite considerably, well, relatively, through the Asian session there. I'd possibly look for the upside back to that daily pivot, but and the way this is moving at the moment, I don't really want to be buying against the market. The pound then. The pound, well, following sell-off again, it's pushed on through. Today it's already pushing quite a way down there. Looking like there's not a lot to help it. It is oversold on some of these time frames. It has got the daily pivot above again, which could be a draw, but I can't sell it where it's sitting at the moment. So I can't sell it. Of course I could sell it, but I don't want to be selling it into this oversold sort of picture. Yes, it may roll through and continue. I would rather retrace to sell into, so maybe I just miss it. The risk of course is selling around here when it is oversold is it retraces back to maybe it's 60.21 or even further. It's got the weekly daily pivot above. These points could see reversals, and I mean the market's really moved through the softer Asian session. Is that going to be accepted? I say accepted, but are we going to just see that this is a discount price? We'll see. But for now, I mean, I don't think so. I think we're going to see further downside, but I'd rather sell into a retrace. So nothing for me to be doing right now on the pound, which is unusual. I like a bit of a trading on the pound. We had a lovely short yesterday. Dollar yen still remains quite tricky on the dailies here. I would be much more bullish on it if it started breaking maybe above that daily 50, but where it sits at the moment, it's chopping along. It's not making the easiest of cases either side. Even though I come down to this 4-hourly, you can see the chop that's already sort of built in there. 60 minutes, same sort of chop. Maybe if it breaks the lows here, I'd like to play it back down to its weekly pivot there at some stage, maybe. I think money might still run towards the yen in the short term at least. So we could see that 105.79 or 80 area being hit at some point. But for now, it's not showing me any easy signal. Aussie dollar. Well, the Aussie dollar's seen a bit of a reversal. It did pop down back to these prior lows here. So in a sense, well, the price action actually started moving before the news came out. It rolled back into those lows. In fact, you see on the hourlies here better. The news didn't come out till 5:30, which is the big green bar here. It already started reversing before the news came out there. Now, this is an interesting one, and I may look to short this morning. I'll just need to wait a little while, maybe. But it's back to its sort of towards its upper range level. Nothing's really changed, and everything I can see here in terms of they didn't cut it this time. It wasn't expected to be cut, so. Okay, maybe some did think it was going to be cut, but everywhere I looked at it was firmly expected to be left as is. Now there is pressure for them to cut it, and there was discussions that they would still be accommodative and cut it at later stages. I think this is a potential short today. or if not today, tomorrow. Just need to get a good little signal for myself from these where it is at the moment. I'll just wait and ensure there's some weakness through the move. It may still pitch up a bit. It's early morning, but I'm looking at that as a potential. Now, I don't often trade the Aussie dollar, but there we go. It may be one of those days. Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar, well, is it anticipating something here? Interest rate decision, is it tomorrow? But it's already sort of pushing upwards. Now, there's not expected to be any need of a cut. I think it's about 6. I can't remember. It's on the big picture video, but about 17% chance of any interest rate cuts. But this is softening up where it is. Maybe it's I don't know, just looking to push. I mean, technically, let's get away from the fundamentals for a minute. Technically, this has been knocking on the door here around this monthly R2 for such a long time here. It wouldn't be a great shock if, I mean, we tested it yesterday. If we see a push through here, this shorter or intermediate time range is a sort of a wedge pattern there in an upward move. You'd expect a continuation of that upward move, so that's certainly possible. Other factors, just to bear in mind, weekly pivot is below. We're on a daily pivot at the moment. This could, well, yeah, it's shaping itself up. It's not an intraday currency I like to trade, or currency I like to trade for intraday, but it could edge up there before the news comes out. There are people suggesting you should be selling the CAD, buying the US dollar CAD as it is, before the news comes out. Maybe that's just newspapers. There we go, and news services. For me, well, it may be the right story in this case, but there we are. I don't follow them, make my own decisions. Right, on that end, as I said, possibly the best this morning is the Aussie dollar. I need to look in the shorter time frames just to check that that's a fair opportunity. There is the risk that it could just bounce off its 60-minute 8 and 21 that's sitting below there and continue in this move. It has got a weekly pivot above, which could be the draw for that, in which case I would just stand aside and wait for it to hit that and then look for the short side with these prior highs. But see what it does this morning. Have a great one. Bye for now. Oh, sorry, one last thing. News today then. Today we've mainly got we've over the bank holiday, so we've got the US markets coming back into place. We've seen the Australian data coming out there. We've got the US ISM manufacturing, and we've also got some production data, I think, for the UK, which is a much lower key number at the moment, not having such an effect, but that's at 9:30 for the UK. Have a great day. Bye for now.